Yeah,
How come on YouTube it's showing me that nothing's going on?
I don't know. Maybe she hasn't hit go live yet.
Come on, Savannah Marie, doxing yourself. What a
Doxing.
what a fucker. Oh, this is gay. Nobody's saying anything.
I'm at work, so I'm gonna be in and out of this conversation. But I'm listening.
Hello. Who go there?
Hello,
Who go there?
hello, me
Hello.
For it is I, King
and
Bangolio.
Teddy.
I am the
I,
almighty cornholio. I
I
need
need
TP for my
TP for my
bunghole.
bunghole.
Are you threatening me?
Fire!
Fire! I am the almighty cornholio. I need picata for my bunghole.
Where'd Fishy go?
I don't know. She's fucking being stupid. Savannah, where are you?
Docs her on her YouTube channel.
It's her fucking
I
YouTube
know, I
name. Get the
know.
fuck out
It's
of
a
here.
fun thing.
I'm from the Pacific Northwest. It's the best. It's the greatest place to live.
Yitch.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
No,
No? So how did you
Yitch.
answer?
I don't know.
Jeez. No, you hear me though, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you hear
Okay,
that
cool.
Patrick Westfall is the bridge guy?
I sure did.
He is. Let's get him on here. Somebody
Dude, I
call him.
want to. I want to get him on here.
You want to get him off?
I bet
No,
you do. You love that
no.
beard, don't you?
No,
Rape, rape,
but
rape, 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 rape.
okay, that's
Oh
enough of
yeah.
that. No,
I didn't know if it would work. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yes! I'll delete that one. I didn't even know what it said.
Ah, don't delete it. Come on.
I'll put it on mine.
Hmm. Oh man.
okay, so Teddy, what did you want to
What?
talk about? Because I actually was wanting to talk to you about something that you and Turbo were talking about. Teddy kisses girls. I hope so. That's good.
Oh,
Well,
Gibbo!
What do you want to talk about? I'll talk about whatever you want.
Okay, so like you were on a live with Turbo, right? And
Always.
you guys were you guys
Hot.
were talking you guys were talking about Betsy Blair and her
Yep.
like her information from her Fitbit. Like, did that come from like somebody like an expert looking at the Fitbit, or that just came from her saying that?
No, that came from her Fitbit. They like entered the evidence of her Fitbit into actual evidence. Like there's
But
no
like, did an
expert.
expert talk about it, or like
Well, well, let me put it to you this way. Do you think if somebody comes to police and they give you their Fitbit, do you think there's going to be a Fitbit expert that comes in and says, "Hey, I mean,
I couldn't
I
afford it.
mean, I do think that somebody would talk about it, just like with the Apple evidence or whatever.
all right, well, let's break it down then." So, you have your Fitbit, you have the times that you know that you were there. Neither the state nor the defense had any Fitbit expert breaking down the information that was given. So, to me, and this is just me being stupid fucking me, you have Fitbit information. If neither the state nor the defense has an expert that can break down Fitbit information, you would think that the Fitbit information is pretty straightforward, right?
I have no idea. Like, I don't like what does it tell us? Like, it shows on like a map when
So
she was there, or like
no,
counts steps, or
from my understanding is the Fitbit information, and I've never looked at Fitbit data, but
Did
you
Google
have
own it in 2017?
probably. I mean, there's probably something there that you could have some specific expert, but if you have data that says at 2:25 you were here, and here's where your activity levels are up. This is what you were doing. Like, you were obviously at a heightened state of exercise or whatever. Like, it was very clear based off of the evidence that here she wasn't moving, she wasn't doing anything, and then here she was having some level of exercise because the
Okay.
Fitbit shows. I mean, that's what I got from that.
So let's say that that's accurate and we know when she's exercising. It seemed to me like between you and Turbo, there was like maybe a little bit of like, did she walk to the Freedom Bridge first, or she just like hopped back in and only walked to the bridge and back? Because that's like a very short walk to go all the way back there for.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
so like
Yeah.
I think that those are kind of like important details because like basically we're saying that she like didn't see anybody else on the trails, right? And she walked the whole trail is basically like what is implied in that.
Thank
Well-
you, Laura. That's my kind of running club.
What'd you say? Gotta check out the
It's
new
talking
runners
about I
club.
need to join the running club because they create dongs with GPS pings.
Well, so the thing that I was saying about Betsy Blair was she, like, I can't give you an exact representation of everything that Betsy Blair said on the stand, but
Right. Yeah.
she was somebody that came in that she didn't seem like she wanted to be there, but she was also one of those witnesses that didn't seem like she didn't want to be there either. She was just trying to tell you what happened. Like, again, like all of the other people that were on the trail, they had been deposed so many times. They were like, what the fuck? Like, this is what I saw. This is what happened. I gave you the Fitbit information. This is what it is. And she said, I always do 3 loops. She did her first 2 loops, which I don't, call me terrible, say that I'm a fucking idiot, whatever you want to tell
You're
me. because
terrible
people-
and you're a fucking idiot.
exactly.
And now
Because
that's
people,
out of the way.
because people have said that. So she did her 2 loops. She took a break. She went to the library and took a piss, whatever she did. And then she came back. And we know that she parked at the Mears entrance because of the Hoosier Harvestore camera and based off of what she said.
Would the
So she
Hoosier
did-
Harvestore camera have caught her car if she went from the library to the, or like, because
Yes.
doesn't
Yes.
it not pass?
No, listen, Fishy, the only car that I saw when they didn't show the Hoosier Harvestore camera frames on the TV. The only reason that I saw that was because I was sitting in a spot in court that I could see as they were flipping through the photos before they passed them to the
KT.
jury. Like, I saw
Greeno?
the frames. Well, I saw Greeno too, unfortunately, but
So,
I saw the blue car on the frame, and it was a lot clearer than I expected it to be because I really thought that the Hoosier Harvestore captured shit a lot blurry, well, a lot
They
more
didn't-
blurry than you would expect. But
they didn't show any videos. They showed pictures. Is that correct?
they didn't show the gallery anything. When Mullen got up, and when he first got up the end of the one day, and he gave the jury the photos, we were not supposed to see it. It's not something that was put up on the screen that we were supposed to see. I saw the general frame of the photographs, but I couldn't see a car that first day.
So they
The
did
second-
just show photographs and not a video.
Yes,
Right?
yes, not a video. There was no video of the Hoosier Harvestore at all.
That's
So,
wild.
Shown at trial.
the thing is, the jury are the people that are supposed to see this, not
Right. No, I get that,
Right.
but I still think it's wild that they didn't show the video.
right. But again, like, as things go on and as the FOIA requests go on, like, people are going to see this. Like, it's
Well,
not
Snappy
it-
Dragon.
it's
I
not
mean,
a
are they?
fucking I think they will. I get that people are pissed off that they haven't seen the exhibits and stuff, but these are actual exhibits at trial. Like, I don't think they're gonna hide the fact that
Think
we
again,
have.
Teddy.
Well, you know what, Zero? You caught me in a fucking. Yeah, see, get Greeno up here. Greeno was in there. He knows.
Hey Teddy, we're not saying you're lying by any means. That's not.
Well,
That's not.
well,
I
no,
am.
no. Well, Dan is, but like, I'm not. I'm just trying to tell you, like, I don't know
Well,
why
happened.
they
Yeah, no.
didn't show what what I'm talking about, but that was one of the days they didn't show the photos on the TV. I just happened to see what the frame of that security camera was. And that
Mhm.
first day, like, he got on the end of the day and he entered whatever he entered into evidence and he gave it to the jury. And I happened to see it and I'm like, I can't see any vehicles. I expected to see Kelsey's car at least. Like, it's white. It's going to stick out against like a gray background or something. I didn't see it.
Would you
Teddy,
say
did they have
it was very far away?
Well, it wasn't that it was very far away, but it was just I was sitting in a spot where I saw him flipping through the photos before he gave them to the jury, and I saw the general outline of what that security camera showed.
Were they
But
like colored photographs? Sorry.
Why
I
does it gotta be colored?
no, well, I would assume that they were colored photographs, but I didn't like I can't tell you whether or not they were because I didn't get a view of any of the cars. And that's what I said that to Gray Hughes on his channel when I got sidearmed into going on Gray Hughes' shit.
Did
I
they
was
have
like,
spoken? Did they have spoken objections or speaking objections in there? Like objection, hearsay, or did they just
oh,
say
fuck yeah.
objection and then go
No.
to the stand?
Oh no, it was fucking objection, ask and answer.
Okay.
The shit that the defense would say, there were so many objections because like Rosie would
No, that's
spend
good.
No, he would spend like 2 hours. He would say, "Do you agree?" And they would keep having to object. It's like, dude,
It's because
stop.
he's trying to frame the question, and he has to frame the question. He was
Right.
struggling to get the question worded properly,
Right.
leading and all this stuff. It's hard to do.
And there was like 15 times where they had to object time after time after time. And I'm like, dude, you're a fucking defense attorney. You should know this by now. And they
Well, it's
kept having
hard.
to object. It is hard. I get it. But they kept having to object, and he kept doing the same shit.
The state was objecting when he asked the question.
They would object when it was, do you agree? Would you agree? Would you agree? Would you agree?
Leading
And it's like,
question.
dude, yeah.
Objection.
So
leading.
with the Hoosier Harvestore stuff, Mullen entered them into evidence and he gave them to the jury, and I happened to see them and I drew it out. Like I could see the general frame of the security camera, but I
Wait, can
couldn't
I
make
interrupt you one more time?
sure.
Mullins entered them in, like
So
like what?
Mullen was the person on the stand when the Hoosier Harvestore stuff came up. He was the guy that said, the FBI told them that the Hoosier Harvestore camera, the time frame on it was 54 minutes fast. And he would tell you, like, as he was talking about Betsy Blair's car and Kelsey's car and Sarah Carbaugh's car, he said that they figured out it was 54 minutes fast based off the FBI's analysis of it. So he would give you the time that it said on the camera, and then he would give you the actual time based off of the discrepancy that they found
54
out.
minutes. That's a weird amount of time to be off, right?
Isn't it? But I mean, think about any other time.
A quartz clock is off 1 minute, or it's what is it? Is it a minute a month?
Right.
I don't know.
But that's
Mechanical watch, if it's not hooked up to the internet and refixing itself all the time, it's quartz clocks in general have an error rate if they're on for
dude,
a long time.
I'm telling you, if you want some more detail, like let Greeno up.
I know how clocks
he
work.
knows he was in
I
there.
know how clocks work. If that's the
It's not
case,
like
if they had it on for 2 years and it's not. But if it's not a Wi-Fi clock, the quartz motion or movement or whatever is going to be off the same.
So it was that first day it was off. The second day that I was in there in the morning, they showed the photos again because they wanted to. I think the second day was the day that they got the photos actually into evidence and they talked about them more. And that was the day that I actually saw the vehicle in the photo. I only saw the blue car. And I assume because Kelsey's car was white and Sarah Carbaugh said she was driving a red Toyota or something. So I assumed that the blue car was Betsy Blair's car. But it was a lot clearer than I expected a vehicle on the Hoosier Harvestore camera to be. And I was like, holy fuck, like you can tell what type of car this is based off of the photo. You might not be able to tell the VIN number. You might not be able to tell, the license plate. Like I can't see it that clearly, but based off of the frame of this photograph, you can tell what type of fucking car it is. So I looked at it and they were bringing all this stuff into evidence. And I'm like, yeah, you know what car it is based off of the time, based off of the image, based off of who said they were, where they
Did
were,
they
when
object
they
to
were.
any of this evidence coming in?
No,
Okay.
they didn't.
Well, that's
I mean,
revealing too.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's not like when they entered in Richard Allen's car, like this was all on Wednesday was the day that Sarah Carbaugh spoke and they entered in that evidence. And then Thursday morning was when all of it got in to the point where I actually saw the vehicle. Like Thursday was when they really started honing in on Richard Allen. I don't think it was until Friday or Saturday that they actually said like, hey, we saw this black vehicle with black rims that you could see the sun coming through, that they even mentioned Richard Allen's name.
Don't you think it's so weird though that like in 5 years when they're like kept like pressing for people to tell them stuff and they had like this video of Bridge Guy that they didn't like mention cars one time? Like aren't cars pretty like identifiable? Like wouldn't that be a good fucking thing to put out to the public?
I think that that's true, but at the same time, when you're looking at an investigation that huge and you have this random guy that you can't pinpoint who the hell it is, and then you have all these cars going back and forth past the Hoosier Harvestore camera, you don't necessarily know if the guy that's on the bridge is driving the vehicle that you see on the
Is
Hoosier
that road
Harvestore
like super
camera.
busy though?
That one is, yeah.
I don't.
That's the
I'm-
highway, right?
No, not the highway.
No, not the highway. This is a very narrow road, but again, I can't tell you whether or not the investigative team thought, hey, the person driving this black vehicle that we haven't talked about yet is the guy that we saw on the bridge. I think those are two really big fucking differences that, like, I'm not going to say whether or not they thought that, but I think it's a big stretch for them to go to the public and say, hey, we have this black car that we can't identify and we have this guy on the bridge.
So, Teddy, were they saying that they saw the car coming to park at the CPS, or that it was leaving when they saw the car? Because they didn't see it both times, right?
They have the car both coming and going. They have the car coming at 1:26 p.m. They have the girl's photo, or no, actually I lied. They have the girls that were on the trail. They have their photo at 1:26. They have this car going past the Hoosier Harvestore at 1:27. And then they have the car going at a later date.
Because I thought that going out that way was like how you get to like Libby's house, and I kind of thought that Libby's house was like not like in town. So where
Libby's house is north from that whole area. So if you're going east or west, you can't really tell whether it's going towards Libby's house or not, because it's in the complete opposite. Like you can't say if a car's going east or west if they're going to a place that's north or south. You know what I mean?
Well, for it to pass the Hoosier Harvestore camera, it would have to be coming from the same direction that I've seen like Becky Patty did, like the drive where she like retraced like Derek German's drive kind of, or like even Kelsey's drive. And so it seems like they're coming from that direction, which you'd have to come from that direction to pass the Hoosier Harvestore and park at the CPS building. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if you're going to park at the Hoosier Harvestore, you're going from east to west.
Can somebody pull up a map?
Yeah, if you can pull up a map, like it'll be really easy to see.
Okay, but
But-
I've literally been out there and driven it so many times.
Let's fucking go, Laura.
Yeah, but I still don't like I don't really. I still need to see it on a map. All I know is that I was able to show some people like, okay, I remember if you Google this, you would go Google the marathon station or whatever, like, because then you can get there and then you can kind of turn around and find this little. First of all, like the left-hand turn into even the main place where you will park at the Freedom Bridge. That's hard to find. But then that back road is even more hard to find. When people were talking about there being multiple cars going by, no.
Laura, tell me this though.
Yeah.
Because I've been there. So how narrow is that road? Do you think that there's two cars that could go past each other on that road with a good amount of space in between them?
It's a country road in Indiana, yeah.
It's very fucking narrow. Like when
It's
I was
narrow.
there, I
Too.
couldn't imagine if you had two cars going past each other at the same time on 300 North.
Yep.
You would
and
have to
touch the
be
berm.
like a really good driver to get those two cars to go past each other without hitting each other.
Yeah.
I guess
Like,
you're talking some Indiana back roaders.
Yep,
so you're
it's
right.
Indiana.
Right.
It's not a definitely
Do it in
like
a semi.
it would not be a road you could put in town.
Right. And
Yeah.
like even that it really doesn't matter because you don't even have to think about that. You had cars going east to west, you had cars going west to east. They have all of that on camera. The only car that they didn't have the person driving was the black Ford Focus that they knew was a Ford Focus because you could tell based off of the photographs. They did not have that driver. I don't know why during the course of the investigation that it took them 2 years to focus on that vehicle.
Yeah,
But
that is a
I'm
big question actually.
right. I'm telling you though,
I agree.
that's once they
Yeah,
had
Like,
all the
that would've been
information.
crucial.
Like if they had Richard Allen from the very beginning, I still think it would have been a little iffy. The fact that they spent all the time that they did going over all these people and figuring out that nothing came of anything till they focused on the vehicle, the black Ford Focus with the black rims with the sunlight coming through them that are not stock. And they had Richard Allen finally, after all those years. I think it was beneficial that it took them that long because they were able to pinpoint who it was rather than, I mean, you can laugh, but
Well, where did the PT Cruiser come in?
Probably hatchback.
you know where it came from? It came from all the other people that said they saw all these different people. Look at the three girls that were there on the trail looking at the same fucking person as they're going through. They had different interpretations of the
Can you
person.
guys see this map?
No, I can't.
Yep, I can.
Make north,
Yeah.
up, and south down if you can.
I
Yeah.
have no
So we're
idea
all
how
in
to do that.
perspective. Are you on a
I-
laptop?
Well, like,
I can still get confused on where's
Take your
the north
two
or
fingers and
south side
rotate
of
it
the
on your
bridge.
touchpad. It should rotate the map, right?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Maybe.
I don't know how to do it. Mine does.
Okay, but
Can we
this is
stop?
the trailhead right here.
Okay.
Zoom in a little bit, Fish.
Well, I'm trying to get the whole thing. So this is the Freedom Bridge. I'll put it like this.
Okay.
Still, no matter what, I'm going to say that you're wrong.
Well, but
Just
hold on.
being
This
an
is
asshole.
how my brain works.
It's not a right or wrong thing. It's just I just want to understand what you're saying. That's all.
No, it
I'm not
is.
trying
I'm
to
just
be
being
right
an
or wrong.
asshole.
Right.
Well,
I
you said
know.
that's what you wanted to come on here to do. So we're good.
I'm just being a douchebag.
That's fine.
Trolling.
Just trolling, you know.
I can take
I know.
it.
I don't know
Carol,
anything better.
Carol?
I'm just telling you guys. I get confused on like the north or the south side because I confuse them in my head, or then the right or the left, east. So it's like when people describe something like that, I'm like, you've lost me.
Yeah, so like the the
You
Okay.
think of it this way,
the
and then you just
Delphi-
point right
no.
or left. That will
Here,
help.
let me ask you, Teddy. Let me explain what I'm trying to ask you, and then you could tell me if I'm right or wrong. Right? Okay. So this is Country Road 25
Okay.
right here. Right? Can you guys see my pointer?
What's that, old 25?
300 north. That's
This is
300
300
north. What
north.
you're looking at. Yep.
Okay. And this is the wait, is that the road? Why? Hold on. Okay.
There's a way to get it to go back to the time too, and I don't know how to do that on Google Maps either.
Oh yeah, if I had it on Google Earth, I could do that, but my computer's like being weird right
Okay.
now. And
Yeah,
I
but that
recognize
doesn't
it this
matter.
way.
Fuck it. Yeah, so the
Okay,
Delphi
that's-
Cemetery and the Delphi U store, like all that, that's all 300 north.
Okay, so this is the Hoosier Harvestore right here, right? Isn't it?
No.
Right
The
here.
Delphi U store, so that long guy, that's the Hoosier Harvestore.
Yeah, they're right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry,
so,
I think it's lagging between my phone and the TV.
Oh, sorry. And this trail right here is like where they walked, right? This is where they got dropped off.
Yep. That's
Okay.
the Mears entrance right there.
And then this way over here is where Libby's house is, right? Going this way past the cemetery.
No.
Howdy, Mustang.
So Libby's house, from my recollection, is north of all of this.
Which is
North
this
and
way
left.
or this way?
But that's just me. I can't tell you, Fishy, whether it's coming from east, west, whatever. But
I could say I think Abby's is to the right.
Abby's is to the
Abby's is
south.
this way.
Abby's
Maybe-
is to the south.
Okay.
Abby's is to the south of Weber's. I could tell you exactly where her house was, but it's to the south of the Weber's.
Right. Here
if
is
you-
like Weber's, right?
Just-
right here.
Yeah, just forgive me because, like I said, it's a little bit.
And then Abby's is down over here, yeah?
Yep.
Over here?
Yep.
Somewhere? Okay. And then this is the highway right here. And this is town over here, right?
Nope. Town is up towards where Riley Park is. Where you
That's
see it,
where
like
I'm
where
circling.
Delphi shows. Sorry,
Right here?
like I said, don't mind me. I'm like, it's all lagging for me.
I'm
so-
sorry. Yeah,
No,
but
don't
right
be
here,
sorry. It's okay.
This is town.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand like exactly what we're saying here.
Yeah. No, I get you.
So the person who got caught on this camera here, I gotta zoom in again. On this camera, had to drive this way and park at the CBS building over here, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
From the cemetery up and park over here to be caught on this camera and not park here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the first time I went, I could say I went 4 years ago with a friend of mine who is his whole family's from around the area. He didn't even know exactly. We did not know how to find it. So we first went to the Marathon gas station and we came back and then so it was very confusing. So there is like, and once you drive up into the city, I mean, man, that was back when, I don't even want to say it now. People were all suspicious of a father and son duo. And so he was like, do you want to drive by their house? And I was like, no, not really. But it's, it's really close. So then you go back and then it's not very far at all, but yet this was so remote. That was the feeling I got. You had to cross over there and then, so it looks like these are big roads. They could be well traveled, but it's really not. But yes, that's it. So I wanted to know where Betsy Blair, I still don't know where Sarah Carbaugh says that she saw. Where did she pass?
So Sarah Carbaugh, from what I understand, she was talking about joyriding the day that she was out. And
Okay.
she was going back and forth through town. She said that she saw the person that she saw on the north side of 300 North. So he was on the side of the Hoosier Harvestore when she saw him. And the only thing that I remember, it was, 3-4 months ago, she said that she was just passing the cemetery when she saw this person.
Yeah.
So he was on
like
this.
right here.
To me, I would think like, hey, if he's on the north side, I said this before I ever heard Sarah Carbaugh talk or before I ever went to trial. Like, if he's on the north side of 300 North, the Hoosier Harvestore camera should have picked him up if that's the type of camera that he went past. but I don't know. Like, I don't fucking know what type of camera it was. But that's what I thought. So when she was talking about it, she said she went past the cemetery. She saw
Okay.
this guy. And the thing that she said that really stuck out to me, because they asked her, they said, you know, do you remember which direction that you were going? And she said, I distinctly remember looking in my rear view mirror and seeing the sun going down. So the sun goes down in the west. So she was obviously driving west to east if she saw the sun going down in her rear view mirror. So she was driving
Yes.
towards town, well, west to east. If
Yes,
it's
yes.
setting in the
Okay.
west, yeah.
Yeah, you're correct. So this was still like something that maybe we need to hash out, because this has been my notes and I haven't figured this out of like, where did she see him? She also brought up some other people that she saw at the Mears lot. So I just still couldn't figure out if.
Well, that was another one of my points that I asked the next day. She said that she saw a blonde woman with a pink top at the Mears entrance, and that to me says that was Tara. Like,
Yeah.
like people that are looking for the girls at the Mears entrance where they
Neon
drop the
looking
girls
stressed.
off. Right. So it makes sense that Bridge Guy was on the opposite side of the road trying to stay away from the people that were at the Mears trail or the entrance. Like, he was trying to stay as well away from them as he could and trying to make it back to his car. So,
okay, I have a question then.
Okay.
Why would a pedestrian or a walker not be caught then on the Hoosier Harvestore?
That's what I asked. But
well, it's
again,
easy. You get back right into the woods and then you go back out the.
Well,
unless I just don't know if they've addressed this.
Well, no, but this is the thing. Like, I asked this question before I ever went to trial. It's like, if he was on the north side, and I don't know if the camera picked up cars or if it picked up people, but this was one of the things that I said that was a good thing for the defense. Like, Rosie asked Liggett, do you guys think that he might have went around the Hoosier Harvestore? Like, I can't believe somebody like Alan would be smart enough to go, oh yeah, there's a camera here. How the fuck would he know? You know what I mean? Like, out of all the things that you're thinking about when you're trying to kill two girls, you're not thinking about where all the cameras are. And how would you know?
Actually,
wouldn't you just assume everywhere has a camera though?
Well, you would assume, but being in a small town, like,
yeah, he didn't.
You don't know where all the cameras are, but the Hoosier Harvestore did have cameras, and it obviously picked up shit.
Yeah,
but I'm like, that it was one of the things that Rosie asked a lot of the witnesses, like, did you ever search anywhere north of 300 North? And there were people that were like, yeah, we searched in fucking Monticello.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, they laughed.
This answered my question. I think there's a spot where you can look. He came out of the. Okay, so yeah. I was like, where did he come out and see these people? I was thinking that Sarah Carbaugh saw him way more on that corner that because she was bringing up, but now it makes sense. You're right. It was beyond the Mears thing. So I think he dipped back into the woods again and then came back out that little side. There's a very small side trail. And you do ditch the camera.
He probably could have. But again, that has to assume that he knew where the cameras were.
I don't think he was trying to avoid a camera per se. I just think, like, why would he walk that whole road back? That's crazy. Like, he would dip back into the woods.
Knows? The guy told investigators 5 years later exactly what he was wearing.
Yeah, but you go undercover. I'm just saying, there's a very logical path to go right back undercover.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the guy did some stupid shit. Who knows what the fuck he did? Like, you look at that whole area of the crime scene. There's no good way to get out of there. None. Like, you're gonna walk. You're gonna walk up a fucking steep ass hill no matter where you get out of there.
Isn't there a road like that is like literally like parallel to the trail, like just over like 5 feet to the right if you're walking from the Monon High Bridge to the Freedom Bridge?
Yeah.
Isn't there a actual road that people could drive on? It's just like
not drive on.
Yeah.
No, because
Yeah,
I
but
think Meow Zedong, she did a video and like she showed a car like driving down there. I wish Frosty was
right,
in here. I think he
but
was there too.
Frosty was there too. But the thing you have to consider is where the crime scene was. You're either gonna be walking north up towards the cemetery, or you're gonna be walking west up that big fucking ridge that I walked up, and that's a steep motherfucker, and you're gonna end up back on the trail that leads to the Monon High Bridge.
No, there's
So
a
if you
trail that goes directly from um like the road I'm talking about. Like it's like parallel to the trail, and I'm almost like 100% positive. I would like because yeah, Frosty and Meow Zedong like made a video like a while ago that I watched, and I was like, what the heck? And they showed like the trees and stuff where they were like marked and everything, and it like
Mhm.
literally goes directly to the crime scene.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you know what you're talking about? You're talking about the trail from the north side down to the crime scene. That's the trail that I went down to get to the crime scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going from the crime scene in a westward direction. Instead of going north towards the cemetery, you're going to the side, and that's going west. And there's still a big ass fucking hill there. And once you get up that hill, you're gonna end up back onto the trail. I'm sure there's like a trail that leads to a parallel trail where like parallel to the trail that leads to the bridge, but you're
Mhm.
going in a westward direction. And either way you get out of that crime scene, you're going up a fucking hill.
Yeah, like you said,
So
either way. So like he had to
right,
go up the hill. Like
right. So I mean, if he went up that little side trail, he would still run into all the people that were at the Mears entrance, because the trail that runs parallel to the trail that leads to the bridge, like that's right
do you
there.
know who wouldn't though? Is Ron Logan. He could just go home.
He I mean, he could. I mean, if you want to go down that route, he could. His house is not on a trail. He could walk up north from the crime scene to his
Nobody would see
house.
him.
That's very true. But you look at all the other ancillary shit around Ron Logan and what he said and what he did, and it doesn't add up to what Ricky Allen said that he did and how he got out of there.
Well,
And the other funny part about that is the people that are defending Richard Allen, they made it quite plain from the very beginning that it was Odinist that did this. And
no,
how
but
those
Teddy, that's not true. I don't think that they made it
that is
clear that,
true though, Fishy. How can you
well,
say that that's not true? They spent how
because I
many
am
years?
because
Okay.
I'm one of the people that and it's not that you like I'm not saying it's anybody in particular. I'm just saying that like
R&M made all the Ron Logan stuff back in the day. She
Well,
went
well,
that
I mean
route.
it's compelling. It's definitely compelling. He's like a
Right,
very
but the Ron Logan stuff came out just now. Before trial, they were trying to get this Odinist stuff, and they had no fucking complaints about Ron Logan. They
Oh,
never
Teddy,
brought any
when
of it up.
you were you there at the 3-day hearing
I
or you
wasn't
weren't?
there. I wasn't there at the 3-day hearing, but let's not forget how hard they pushed the Odinist theory.
You know who was at the 3-day hearing?
Aspen?
Daniel.
Laura.
Oh, Laura, did they say something about
Yeah,
a,
Is she still
a
there?
phone being there that was
I hope
one
she's
Oh,
still
of
she's
there.
not
the
there. She's not there.
I'll
I'm
text her.
sorry.
no.
I didn't
Laura,
know she
get back
dropped.
in here.
Come back, Laura.
I was gonna say there's somebody here that was actually there.
I mean, seriously though, like, why would they? You have two people. You have the Odinist and you have Ron Logan. They were hardcore in their franks that it was the Odinists.
Because they're
Now
not
that-
solving the crime, they're just poking holes.
Yeah, they're basically pointing out a third party. They'll bring up
Hold on, hold
a
on.
bunch of
that
different
has
people.
compelling that has just as much evidence against them as Richard Allen, basically.
Yeah, not really though, because the whole box cutter thing that they put in their motion. Yeah, Ron Logan Supposedly, you had convicted on 50 years on methamphetamine charges that said Ron Logan did it. That said he used a box cutter. This is a second-hand fucking confession. Not
Yeah,
like
but it was
Richard Allen,
also
who had a
in March
first-hand
of
confession.
2000. It was in March of 2017.
Right,
That's kind of
right,
like,
right. And what did the defense say? The defense was talking about shit like, oh, Ron Logan knew about this in 2017. None of us knew about this in 2017. When
except for Ron
Core
Logan
got up,
did.
no, but when Core got up on the fucking 23rd of October, none of the investigators, anybody knew that he was going to talk about a box cutter.
I
None
know
of
that's
them.
why they put it in that
Right.
motion, because it was newly discovered as
They
didn't
actually
know
did.
that
I think you guys are actually wrong because I think they asked Perlmutter if it could have been a box cutter, and that's a hint.
Well, Nick did ask her, like, what would happen
That's a
if we
big
told you it
hint
was a
of what's
box
gonna
cutter?
go. Yeah, that's a big
And that's
hint of
because
what's gonna happen.
Richard Allen said box cutter in
Yeah,
one of
that's
his
because he had already said
confessions.
that.
Right. So
Mhm.
you look at what Ron Logan said. He said box cutter before anybody knew anything about a box cutter. The only reason that they took that into consideration was because Richard Allen said that. But everything else about the Ron Logan supposed confession that came from a secondhand witness, all of
Who
that shit
apparently
was
failed a polygraph.
right. Exactly.
But like, what did he like?
None of
Our polygraphs like
Wait.
fucking. Did he fail it?
No,
Polygraphs
but I
are
mean,
not
if
allowed
you
into
want,
court.
if you want what he said to be true, then no,
No, Dan.
they're
I
junk.
don't want
But
anything to be
if
true
you
or
look
false.
at a guy that if you look at a guy who gets a polygraph test and he fucking goes in there and starts sweating and can't answer
But
the
he's probably on
questions.
meth, Dan. Fucking.
No,
No, he was in
he
prison.
wasn't on meth. He was
He was
in
in
prison. He failed that polygraph
They have
What
meth.
abysmally.
testing did he fail it on though?
Well, that's fine, but
Abysmally.
then how can you take him seriously on a false confession if he's on meth and
And
failed a
also,
polygraph? Like it
Because
goes
he
both
had
ways.
information that only the killer would know, quote unquote.
and also,
That he had blood
all-
on his nose and used a box cutter.
Yeah, the box cutter detail. I mean,
Right.
did you
And
when
you-
that came out? Was everybody not like, oh my gosh, that's something only the fucking killer would know?
you know whose blood they didn't find at the crime scene was Ron Logan's.
Richard Allen's.
Nope, Ron Logan's. They did not find
Peter
any
Allen.
of his.
Also Richard Allen's, though they didn't find his
Right,
either.
and they didn't find any of his DNA at the crime scene either. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter who you put in that place.
I wasn't saying you were wrong,
But
Fishy. I was
they
just
did
saying
find-
like
I know, I got it.
Yeah,
Dan.
but
there's a
they
big
did find-
possibility that that's
they
a junk
did
fucking.
find somebody's DNA, right?
whether it was
Maybe.
Ron Logan or
Well, I'm asking
fucking
Teddy if
Patrick
that's what they said in
Westfall,
court. Did they
whether
find
Patrick-
male DNA?
they did find male
Unknown
DNA.
male DNA.
They found unknown male DNA on Liberty's breast swab and her vaginal swab and her inner thigh swab, but they didn't have enough to make a profile. So it doesn't matter
I mean,
if it's Ron Logan or if it's Richard Allen or if it's Patrick Westfall. It doesn't matter who you put in that place. They're not going to be able to come up with a secure male DNA profile. The DNA day was pointless, and the state still put it on to show you, like, hey,
did they have enough to like rule certain people out, or it's just like
No.
it was like
no, they had unidentified male DNA in very weird places that I sat there and I was like, hey, this is fucking weird. It was not enough to generate a profile. So it doesn't matter who you put in that arena. It's not enough to say they have enough DNA to give you
I'm just saying then
potential
don't say
person.
Ronald Logan's DNA wasn't found because like
Well,
it also
but-
applies to
but-
anybody else that you
Well, then
said.
if you
But it-
do
but it
that, then you
wasn't-
can't say that Richard Allen's DNA wasn't
yeah, but
found.
No,
here's
I-
my point though.
Yeah.
Here's my point though. The swabs that they took, they weren't blood swabs. They were touch DNA swabs. There was no
Yeah.
blood swabs found at that crime scene that were Ron Logan's DNA because he got hit in the nose and he had a bloody nose. They didn't find any of that. And
But
at
they
the same
also
time,
didn't they also say that Abby like was cleaned or whatever?
listen, Abby didn't have any blood on her in terms of the crime, but that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, Abby didn't have any blood on
Somebody
her
just
hands.
popped in.
She
Laura's
didn't have.
back.
she didn't have any blood as far as the crime. The blood that she had on her was from her wound that people still say, like, there was no blood from Abby found at the crime scene. Like, the defense tried to purport in their early fucking motion, which is bullshit.
Okay, Teddy, can I ask Laura a question really quick? Because I don't know if she's trying to go to bed
Sure.
or whatever. I just want to ask. Laura, you went to the 3-day trial, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, at that trial, didn't they say that that one of were you there for Murphy's testimony?
Not Murphy, no.
Hmm.
I don't know. Was he the? So it was a 3-day hearing, and I made it till Perlmutter the Friday at lunch that lasted from like 8 to like 2, and then I was so sick I had to leave. So I forget when Murphy went on.
But did you see Murphy or you did not see Murphy?
I did not see Murphy. No.
Bummer. Okay, but maybe I can ask you anyways because I think you and Aspen were kind of talking about the case afterwards. So
Sure.
maybe.
Yeah.
Was there like a phone that was like in the area of the cemetery that was somehow linked to one of the Odinist people?
Messer. It had a Messer last name, I thought, on one of them.
I have not heard. I don't think that.
Well, it didn't come out in trial, I don't think.
Or the 3-day hearing. I don't recall that at all.
I think that Aspen had said he mentioned it very briefly, but he didn't really go into it. And I don't know if that's because they didn't really go into it at the court. Like we still don't have transcripts for those, I don't think.
Okay, I don't recall that at all. I do recall, or not that is that there are a couple others that were like around the area. I just don't remember the last name of Messer.
Did they say
They were-
people's last name, or they just said they didn't know?
They never said it in. They definitely never said it in hearing, but neither the defense did not say it either. I mean, I could say I've heard it maybe from, a friend of ours before who. So, but I forget what he. I don't know. You know what I mean? It was kind of like leaked from or what somebody might have said. So I don't know. It was not said at the hearing, as far as I know.
Nope.
Okay.
But
No, there were 3. Was it 3 initials that the murder sheet? 2 or 3 sets of initials the murder sheet gave out.
Yeah, and I think I know, right? I mean, it's so long ago, but I will say that I do. I have a relative though who Terre Haute. I mean, we've got all these in Indiana. We've got all these weird names. We got say Monticello. It's Monticello, and then
French and Indian stuff.
We've got this town called. People think it's Versailles. It's Versailles, the way we say it in Indiana. But I mean, I have a relative that worked very. It's like a cousin's daughter. So I mean, because she's younger, I'm older. So she worked very closely with Ferenczi, and I don't think she's, she doesn't. I just remember when when all that went down, she was devastated because he was kind of mentoring her, and
It was a cover up.
Well, as far as she doesn't know anything about the Odins, and I think he was into some FBI things, but I don't think that the 3 of them were in this packed group, this little pack going after the Odins the way that they want to make it sound. Like, I don't think anybody from Indiana thinks that this other person really
Not yet.
when I interns under them, she's like, I just never heard of it.
I don't know if you cut
I
out
remember
for
when
everybody, but you cut out for me
Yeah.
for like the last sentence.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You cut out.
Oh, so I just remember way back before I was into all of this, I remember her being very proud of what she was doing, and so she, in Indiana, there's always a tribute when there's a fallen officer. So I have to keep Okay. I remember when there's a fallen officer that, it's very emotional. So I just remember her talking about that a lot. And then, so I've kind of asked her since, and she's like, no, that's not at all what he was working on. So I'm not going to say I don't know. It sounds from other places like they're this team of 3 that are this task force. And that's just not what I've gathered from anyone else in Indiana. But
Right,
I think
and-
that paints a good story from what the defense says. But I believe it too. So I'm like, I could. That's what I'm going to talk to you and show you, Fishy, is because I did my own research, went to Facebook, found all of this stuff. You can find it yourself. Like, it's definitely a thing.
Right, and me and Laura have talked about it, and it's like it's definitely a thing. But when it comes to this specific crime, when you look at all the other evidence, you can't put any of the people that they claim were there. You can't put them there. You can't. We didn't see in court. We didn't see the paperwork of, yes, Brad Holder was at work at the time and then he went to the gym. We didn't
Also,
see
though,
that.
like, just because you didn't see it in the trial doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Right.
Because
But Fishy, that's what I'm saying. We didn't see it in actual trial. But the thing is, even if we saw, hey, this person wasn't there, would people believe it? Do you really think that people would believe it with the way this case goes?
I don't think they needed to bring that in because I guess when you think about it, like, it was seven years of research. So
Right.
I think the whole thing is that how long of a trial would that have been if they brought in
exactly
7 years of that?
How long of a trial would it have been if we brought in all the Odinist evidence? It would have been a much longer of a trial, but would it actually have done anything different as far as this trial is concerned?
Well,
well,
but
I
there's
mean,
the Odinist
there's
evidence.
no way of knowing that. There's literally no way of knowing that.
Well,
There
there is.
isn't.
There is, because she's right, but but there's also been Chadwell. There's been Brian Chadwell, who, I mean, look, if you look at his tattoos, it still looks like Abby and Libby. So I'm still
But I don't think that's really like there. I think there's like certain avenues that they could have gone down, and it was the people that they had requested in that request that got denied, like in full, which was Keegan Klein, Ron Logan, the Odinist, and I think that's it. Like, they weren't trying to bring in every fucking person, you know?
Right.
That's fair, but do you not think that they went down every single one of those roads for like every year that we were following this, and they couldn't make an arrest?
Well, the thing is, like, they did a shitty job on a lot of stuff, you know? So
Well, that's what the defense wants you to think. But I mean, we're in Indiana here, and I'm also hearing there's like Grissom Air Force Base people working on like for me to think this is such a massive, like, I definitely did. I need to understand the Odin, because I saw the Odin thing for my own eyes. So it's like, tell me that I'm not crazy for seeing this. I don't know what this is. So it is a thing, and I think the FBI kind of was there. It's this little militia in the woods but I think it's a part of Indiana too that is also not very developed or evolved in a lot of senses. So I'll just shut up now. But
no,
okay.
don't say it like that. Like, I like when you talk. I'm happy that you're talking, so you don't need to shut up by any means. But the Odinists are like, it's definitely a thing, because like Patrick Westfall like came and talked about it and stuff, and also like we know that they did have some inkling that was something that it could be, because they questioned people about it.
Yeah,
like I wonder why they didn't have Turco come like at all to anything. I really would like him to talk.
Laura, didn't they get him out of the way at the 3-day hearings?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So if I can go into the 3-day, and then Fishy. I don't know what you want me to call you, Fishy. I
It
don't
doesn't matter.
Calls you that.
Whatever you want.
I would definitely love to have a talk with you, because I think you have you were me in these spots. So Teddy, this was at the 3-day hearing, we call it. So
Alright.
I was still like kind of on the fringes, right? Like I had gone and I made it to the like day 1, 2, 3 or whatever to like 1, 2, 3. By the third day, I mean, I didn't make it. There were certain ones I did. I was not the blood spatter expert, but
Cicero.
yes, or Cecil. Which one's Cecil?
I don't
Cecil
remember.
No,
was
Cecil's the-
Cecil was the phone guy.
Okay.
Blocker.
But all right, so you know what? Going there, I had I mean, I did my own research on this. You could go to Brad Holder's own Facebook and figure this out. There's the Gebo room. There's I mean, I can tell you everything that I think lines up. I genuinely believe in it. And the thing is, I've tipped it in so many times and I've made out a whole plot about it. So I genuinely believe that they, and I've heard some people on the defense side or whatever saying like, oh, well, you know, Holman believed in, he talked about the whatever, the Odins or whatever early on. And like, yeah, because so to me that tells me they did absolutely go down this road.
But they had search warrants for their phones, and they never actually collected their phones. So, like, that is why
But
I
what
say
would
that
that-
they didn't.
I don't know that.
Yeah, but why? What would the reason be? Lay it out.
We can't violate. I mean, I know, but
I can't tell you what the reason is.
No,
Like,
no.
that's
There's
not
tons
my-
of search warrants that are made every day that aren't followed through with. Why would
Well, I'm
they?
just
What's
saying
one
that-
reason that they wouldn't do it? Or two,
Well,
or three.
in the beginning, because that Brad Holder was not a person of interest. It was his son when they went and looked at the people.
Generally, they end up not needing to do it, but
Right.
that doesn't mean that's the case. You can either
Right.
go that way or they're trying to cover it up.
That's
that's
the
the
truth.
two that I
it
hear.
doesn't, Dan, it doesn't have to be either of those things. It doesn't have to be.
I know.
But
I'm
it
just
is.
speaking
That's the
generally.
facts
does.
of the case.
Wait,
It
I'm
does, but
speaking in
given-
generally about how people in the community see everything's black and white like that.
No,
It's
you're
not
trying to put it in
necessarily
a black
true.
and white
Down.
way, but I'm trying to
I'm
say
not
that
even
it doesn't
framing
have
it
to be
that way.
You
I
literally
know.
just
I
did.
agree.
You're
I'm
Jew. That's
I'm
how you
saying
frame it.
how the community views it, not how I view it.
Well, I'm trying to make the community
Yeah.
view it in a different way, like a more
Yeah, fuck them.
complex way.
know.
No, not fuck them.
I'm just
down
being
so
a
much.
douchebag.
Well,
And
also,
Teddy,
Laura
you
will
did
tell
say
you.
you're going to be a douchebag, so I have to
Laura-
accept it
Lo-
because
Laura
you
will
told me
tell
that's
you.
what you wanted to do.
Yep, I told you.
all right. You know what? We're the two girls. I like. You know what I like about Fishy is that she can wrangle all the men.
Sometimes.
I identify as a
I
woman.
freaked out
okay?
last time. I kind of freaked out last time. I had to.
Yeah.
I apologize.
I gave her
because
some
was a
shit.
little
Like
bit
that's
of a
that's the
bitch.
thing about me and Fishy is like I'll give her some shit. She'll give me some shit, and if either of us can't handle it, it goes one way or the other.
This
Yeah, but
is
we're
really
still
sweet
friends.
though because you're both of you are like the sweetest ever. So it just shows that you're really passionate and heated. Like it takes me a lot to get me really heated on something, you know? Like
That's why I told you to come back. Yeah.
okay, well I did.
It's
I know.
because they're not heated with each other. They're just heated over the top.
Well, that's because
They're
I'll
friends.
tell her that she's bullshit, and then I'll be like, "Hey, I love you. What's up?"
Well, that's
Who
the problem.
cares?
She's not
It's called
bullshit.
abuse.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's fucking stupid. It's so dumb. Like nothing that
It is.
we say here is gonna do anything for the case. Like the whole, all the shit this week. Like, oh my
People
god,
are trying
the
to
phone.
figure it out.
No, we're trying to figure it out, and
I would
like,
wait
that's
here.
all we can do. But it's like none of us are gonna do fucking anything. Like the court is gonna figure it out, and people are gonna be mad about it, or they're not gonna be mad about it, and stuff's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, like we can sit here and say all we want, and it's good. Like I definitely will sit here and talk to you about it, but it's not gonna make any fucking
Laura,
difference.
do you know what else helps me and Teddy to get along even when we're not agreeing?
Dicks
Is
and vagina.
playing games. Is playing
Bussin'.
games.
Yeah,
No,
we
sometimes we
play
play
some games. Sometimes.
in the Discord. Although also my Discord is linked somewhere in my channel if you guys want to join.
Oh yeah,
And
Laura. Let's
We
go.
play games. It's fun.
Well, okay,
Don't be
so
an asshole.
I also would not be here if I didn't think that. Well, you know, I also say this about about you, Teddy. So this can everybody can see this is like you're not part of like a. I don't know
Listen,
when
tell
you
him
came.
tell
to
him
the-
that I'm part of the cult, please.
Oh no, well I don't think we're. But like I don't
Zero's
even know where
cult?
you came from. You know,
Cult
like
of,
I.
Teddy is part of the cult. Don't let
Tell
him
him,
he
fool
took
you.
the
Zero.
blood oath.
He took
But
the
you
oath.
weren't. And so I mean,
Cult of Pudding Man.
when I got there one of these days, I was just doubting. I'm like, who's this person? Okay, you know,
This fucking ginger.
I don't even.
God.
I don't know. I don't. Do you remember when the first time you saw me there was?
I saw you. Yeah,
Terrible
you were sitting
grandma.
next to Greeno.
No.
In front of me. Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. You were sitting next to Greeno in front of me. I didn't know who you were. And I was like, oh, that's
In
Laura
line?
that I've heard about.
Oh no. In the you're talking. Well, that's not the first time I was there. The first
But
time I
that's-
saw you, you were talking to. It was with me and Susan or something.
Probably, yeah. When she had her phone stolen by questionable
Maybe that. Yeah.
people.
Maybe that was the.
Yeah.
I mean, we all got shoved in the same line, but okay. I was okay. So I think that I'll just finish this with Fishy because of the 3 days hearing that I went to, I think everybody else that was around me, they were way more like solidified and just so sure it was Richard Allen's guilty, where I wasn't. I was more like he probably is, but like I think I'm based because I don't think that Indiana truly like I don't think Indiana would railroad him. I don't believe that, but I figured he's guilty and maybe he's an Odinist and maybe he's part of this crew or something. Like I was waiting for the whole thing. But when Perlmutter's cross-exam went on, I will say that one of the things I've learned from a few judges around here and because Indiana, they all watched it and so it's just a different take from the local Indiana people and Indiana judges, I guess. Like, not that I know them very well, but I knew them. I knew some from the hospitals, and so they were watching it on the screen, watching it very closely, and they're like, the defense has something to hide, and I'm like, what does that mean? And they're like, well, I mean, you don't go to this place unless the defense has something to hide. And I was like, I think I might know what it is. And I remember telling the person, and I was like, I think that it might be crime scene photos, or it might be this like guy named Brandon Woodhouse. And they're like, huh? And then they just, so they ignored me because I was just nobody, and they continued watching it. So, but now looking back, like that's what it kind of was, I guess. They did have something to hide, and so they're just, but so they turned it into like a whole different. The thing is, the defense spins it in a way that it didn't really play out. So now I also know that the Deception Detective, he's a really good YouTuber. Mm-hmm. He will tell you, like, okay, so he's saying about Brian Kohberger. All right, a defense attorney cannot, how can they defend their client? They can defend their client if they can say, I personally, if they get they can't knowingly lie to the court. So they usually don't ask their client ever, are you actually guilty? I used to think it was like, tell me how guilty you are. Tell me everything you did and let me spin it. No, they don't do that. But I think also I went into the June hearing about 2 years ago where it was just this whole day of saying that he's fighting off bugs. He's sleeping on the floor. He's in a jail cell where he doesn't have a dining room table. And it went all day and it was like debunked. And then at the end of the day, Judge Gold was pretty much like,
that 100% is true. Westville has fucking bugs. They have a rodent. And the way I found that out is I just looked at Indeed.com and I looked at like what people said about working there. And like the employees that have worked there, they said all those things are like, it's 100%.
It's horrible.
Right.
It's very bad there.
But when you listen to the guy that guards that whole place and you listen to the things that, you listen to the things that Richard Allen got compared to all the other prisoners in there.
Man, I don't subscribe
you don't buy it, but like this guy broke his own tablet, and what happened? All the other people that have been years on the whole iPad list, he's the guy that got the iPad.
He's fucking innocent in a fucking like he.
Technically, he wasn't a prisoner, Teddy.
Regardless, it doesn't fucking matter.
I'm
He
speaking on
got
Jude, and they
he
debunked
got
everything.
he got a new iPad before everybody else that's in there for
Okay, we'll
whatever
go with
they
I get
got.
that.
Teddy, okay, we'll
That
go with
happened
that.
later, but also even it shouldn't even gone farther than that, because even we got Rosie it was like a whole 8-day hearing, and at the end of the day, Rosie was Judge Gold was very fair with him, and she's like, look, like it, okay, so like, because nothing that they said actually held water, but then she said, okay, so you want him moved, all right, so it'd be, so are you just trying to say it's more logical to have him near you? She's like, you just kind of basically, she's like, you just should have said that.
And the funny part about
would
it,
you, Laura, would you say that once they moved him to the other jail, did he like improve drastically?
Oh
no,
no.
no,
No, he
because
didn't.
while he was in
Remember
trial,
what Holman talked about?
exactly, Holman came up to us because Susan was
Visually, like fucking
No,
visually, he
no.
definitely did.
While he was
Yeah,
in
he gained
trial,
weight.
while he was in fucking trial, he acted a fool. And they
I
tried to
don't
play
even
that.
want to hear none of that, like fucking, because
Okay, you don't want to hear it, but that's what happened.
you can't
While
judge people based on that though.
But
No, it doesn't mean he murdered somebody.
I'm just trying to tell you, while he was in trial, the guy had a fucking flip out. He was so cool while he was in trial, keeping his hands behind his back, fucking looking around like he was this innocent guy. And
Oh my
then
gosh.
while he was there at Cass County, he was fucking sitting there reading his Bible like Mr. Ricky didn't do anything. And then all
Okay,
of a
Teddy.
sudden, I'm just telling you, like that's what they tried to bring up, and Judge
I
Gall
know.
said no.
I
So
get her brain of where she's like the argument where she's at.
no, I understand that, but if you're gonna try to say that Westfield did all this shit to him while he was in Cass County, which
I
is
don't
what
think-
all the people that wanted to be Mr. Ricky, like he just needs some fucking chill
Teddy,
time.
I don't want to be
whatever.
Mr. I don't want to be
We know
Mr.
he's
Ricky.
not even saying you.
I know. I know that.
No,
I know
fishy.
that.
I'm
No, okay.
Yeah.
But
just
like,
saying.
Just relax.
I'm just saying everybody, like people wanted
Teddy.
to say like he was in Westville and he was this big bad fucking guy because
Okay,
he was
Teddy,
there in
will you just
Westville.
stop so I can explain to you that
Okay.
like I'm not Mr. Ricky's or whatever. Like I strongly disagree with our whole prison system, like very strongly. I don't think
Fish.
solitary is fucking okay to put people in.
Yeah,
Like
but
when they are convicted killers, let
Yeah, but
alone when they're
Fish.
not even fucking convicted. Like, and I
Fish.
cannot budge on that no matter what.
Fish. But here's the thing though. All the
Let's
stuff
be
that's
clear
come out.
about solitary.
Okay.
Or no,
Do what?
I think that's a little solitary is a little bit of a. You're right. Go ahead. It's just that's a
No,
little
Laura,
bit of
you got
like
the
a.
floor.
No, it's just sorry. I didn't mean to. But I hear so many people say he's in solitary, thinking it's like the shoe.
That's
What
the
is,
same
your
thing
guys-
I've.
what you guys
No.
that is the shoe actually. It is. It's
No,
secure.
it's not.
secure
not.
It's
housing.
not. That's false. He
That's
wasn't
false.
in the shoe. He wasn't in the shoe. He had more rights than any of the prisoners
Correct.
in Westville, and that's what they fucking testified to.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
What? Rights?
Anything that he
Teddy,
did.
don't yell at me. Calm down.
He's not yelling at you.
Well, I
He's
thought you
definitely
liked
yelling.
that. I thought you liked
You
that.
like that?
I'm not yelling. I'm just
He's
being.
passionate, bro.
Yeah, I'm
I
passionate,
know, but you
bro.
need
Just
to
like you.
dial the passion down a little bit. 'Cause I feel like you
Fish.
yell that.
Fish. If I was yelling at you, shit, we'd be like going at it or something. Come on.
We'll get a
Oh
little
my.
more, Teddy.
No,
Get your
but
laughing side on.
well, I know I got like 3,000 miles to travel, but if we're gonna do something, let's do something. God damn.
Well, but she's a very docile. Just be docile. It's like you bring your
No,
tough
but-
side out with others.
I
I don't know
mean,
if I'm docile.
seriously though, I mean, come on. The guy went into the prison system. Yes, I understand.
Okay, we're
He
gonna
was-
just agree to disagree on that because I don't think
Nope.
that's the point.
It's
and
different than the shoe.
Can
That's
I
a fair
finish?
argument.
yeah, go ahead.
Fishy, can I finish?
Yeah, you can.
I'm semi-chubbed here, and I'm like not liking it.
So much.
No,
Get
but,
it in there. Finish.
Seriously,
Finish it.
Or fish
Okay.
is
the guy,
fresh.
everything that the defense brought up, they said, oh, he was so abused and all this other stuff. And the people at Westville, they were like, look, he broke his tablet. We put him on the fast track to make sure that he got a tablet before anyone else. There were people that their tablet was broke for like 2 years.
Okay,
And we
fuck the
made-
tablet. Move to the next thing. You said this 3 times.
But that's what I'm trying to
Move
say.
to the next part.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how
Yeah, you already
stupid
did
it
it.
is.
Well,
Okay,
Dan,
I
how
don't
about
care
the
about
part?
So-
his tablet.
Dan,
shoe,
wop
please.
wop wop wop.
I don't know
wop,
shoe.
wop, 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 wop,
I just know
wop.
people think it's the chokey or the pokey or
Well,
whatever
have you
from
seen
Matilda,
No.
and it's
Shawshank
not.
No, the
Redemption?
guy was fucking. He was pussyfooted around. He had
Well,
fucking
people think
Monica.
they're out in the hole.
He had
and-
fucking Monica
Yeah, it's not the
Walla,
hole,
and
it's
she
not
was
the
like,
hole.
she goes,
Yeah,
"Oh, your
out in the-
window's all fucked up
Keep it
because you
way
Why
different
are
sat
than
you
there
yelling?
and
solitary confinement.
Teddy, what are you all yelling about? I'm just saying people think he's in the fucking pokey or the hole from The Longest Yard where it's steam and it's a dungeon and no one's around.
why am I
He's
fucking
just in a
yelling?
separate cell, correct?
Because this fucking child killer is sitting here thinking, oh my god, my window's broken and Monica Walla isn't gonna fucking make it right. And she made it right, dog. That's all I'm saying.
Teddy,
That's
was
all I'm
but-
saying.
but-
When
hold on, was he in the hole? Was he in a dark room where you couldn't see any light?
nobody could
Laura-
talk to him.
Laura, I don't know.
I don't
You were
think
the
you
one
guys
of the
know what the
3-day
hole
hearing.
is to begin with, because like that's not.
I don't know.
what it is.
Laura, tell him. Tell Fishy.
Well, that's why
tell
I'm
her
asking.
what she wants to hear.
Okay.
Teddy, what the hell are you doing?
Wait,
I don't
Teddy's
fucking
drunk.
know.
where's Zero? Zero?
I'm right here.
He's the voice of reason.
No, seriously. Like, I fucking laughed the whole time that Gallipo was up on the stand, and Rozzy was like, "Oh yeah, he was in the smallest cell in the whole fucking place, and no one
It
knew
was
where
funny.
he was." It's like, dude,
Teddy, do you
He's
get a
a
boner
fuck-
over guards?
no, I get a boner of
I know
vagina,
a couple prison
but
guards and they're
if-
hot.
no, dude, the fucking prison guards that were there, they look like somebody that was occupying the fucking library in Harry Potter.
I have a
Like, they
question.
look
Okay,
like little Mexican fucking Harry Potters.
what is it like? I don't know
Terrible.
what are the names of? Okay, hey Zero, cool. Do you know the difference between the hole and the shoe and all that? Like, there's
And the
solitary.
choking?
Yeah. So I mean, look, he was in safekeeping. He did
He's a bitch.
77 hours of calls to everybody in his. So it's like he was not deprived. He didn't have sensory deprivation. But can
This
you
fucking
explain
faggot
that?
would ask. He would go, "Kathy, you know I did this, right?" And she'd go, "Ricky, no, stop it." And he'd be like, "No, I did this." And she'd be like,
I
"They're
have talked to
fucking
Zero
with him."
about this in like private conversations. Like, what do you do with this guy? Because if he's a alleged child predator, people want to kill him. Like, you have to
Well,
keep him
good.
away
what
from
they do
people.
is they
should.
just put him with all the other child predators who are all pussies. They only fucking
Put 'em
can
in
stand
Gen
up to
Pop.
kids, and they all fucking sit in a cell
Faggot.
together and fucking like jack
Well, if
off and fucking
He's a
like
puss.
People
be
like
little
Noe,
fucking
who was
faggots.
with
I hope
But
they
That's
don't.
isn't that kind of what they did? He wasn't locked in a cupboard.
right.
He just had his own cell.
no.
God, I
Indian
I
in
hope
the
they
mean,
Cupboard
fucking
was a
kill
good
him.
movie.
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna
I
pull up a
hope they
documentary
fucking
and we're
kill
gonna
him.
watch a little clip
Fuck
of
that
solitary
documentary.
I
confinement.
don't want to. I don't need to. I'm asking what
don't
you would
care.
do with them, and
I can
no,
do
because
whatever
I'm
I want
asking
on
about
this
the
channel.
Indiana prison. I know what solitary confinement is, and I feel like definitions are mixed here because you're thinking he's in some barricaded room with no lights, nothing.
No, I'm not. I'm not
no
thinking that
He's
because
no
I've
not.
been to
He's a
communication.
jail
fucking
before,
faggot.
so I know what it is.
Well, what
Like,
is
very
solitary
Kill him.
confinement like when you've been there?
I'm gonna show you a fucking video of it.
Good.
We don't have to like.
And then
argue
is
on it.
India, and then is Westville where he was at the same thing?
He
I hope
actually
they
has
fucking
better
kill
windows
him.
because it was actually an insane asylum. So like just picture
Oh.
what like a hospital looks like, kind of.
I hope they fucking shank
Well,
him.
I just
Well,
97
picture
Zero,
a
cool.
prison
fucking
So,
cell.
do you have a
times.
question? Did you want to sneak one in?
He's good. He just sits and listens.
No,
No, I
he
think
is a
that
listener.
the context of that prison that he was in, if they have a shoe, if they have a hole, if they have whatever, we would almost need to know the layout of that prison and see where the shoe is, where they kept him, where they have a hole, and determine from there whether it
Zero
was.
knows where the hole's at.
I hope Miss
Okay,
Trunchbull
so he
gets a hold
wasn't
of him
in
and
that.
fucks him hard as fuck.
That's one
But
thing
one
I
thing
wanted
is for
to.
sure.
Nobody talked
One thing
about.
for sure is that I do know where the hole is for sure.
I found it too, at least twice. I have proof.
The bonus hole.
I hope a bunch of black dicks fuck him
The glory
out of
hole?
his gourd. I so
Yep.
hope. Fuck
They
that
won't.
guy. He's a piece of shit.
In the shoe or in the hole, do you get a whole tablet that you can call anybody
Oh, listen.
24 hours a day?
You
I
can,
hope
When
he
you're
can
being-
call his wife as he's getting fucked by a big black cock.
He could
Fuck
call
that guy in his asshole. Fuck that guy.
I
He's
think
a
that with
child
him
murderer.
being, how many people inside that prison at the time were not convicted, as Richard Allen was not? So I don't see why he wouldn't have
And they all
a
said,
special
fuck this
treatment
child killer.
or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call that. But hey, he wasn't technically a prisoner; he was an inmate. But should he get special treatment like tablets and things of that nature?
Oh,
I think
yeah,
you have
he
to if
did.
you have to isolate him. I feel like you have to give him.
Well,
that
there you
stuff.
go.
Yeah,
there
that
you
would
go.
be the issue. I mean,
I hope he
Is he-
gets fucked.
you
I
got
just-
Jared Fogle in there, and you know what? He got
Yep.
shivved.
Yep.
Jared Fogle
they
is
all
a Subway
said,
dude. I mean,
"Oh,
he's gotten stabbed so
He
bad.
Yeah.
deserves it.
So does Richard Allen.
Oh, yeah,
I hope
he
he
does.
gets fucked in his fucking mouth.
Jared Fogel's an asshole.
Piece of shit.
Well, I think it's a fine
okay,
line between
Richard
like,
Allen
do we-
might after
no
being
threat, do we-
convicted,
No.
but definitely not
Richard
before.
Allen, I
He's
hope
still
he
going
gets
to be in
fucked in his
isolation, I
mouth.
bet.
Big fucking child killer.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
I think he probably is still in the same isolation thing now,
Oh, I hope.
wherever they put the creepers.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I care a lot less now that he's convicted, but I think that he's like, I think he's probably innocent. I don't really know. I don't think they proved their case for sure.
Yeah,
And so,
Oh.
like, that I have a problem with.
I would love to see the Odinist theory get brought out in court. Like, as much
Dude,
as
I
I
didn't
don't
fucking
want
say shit about Odinist, so I don't know why that's
you,
even fucking.
you fucking
Don't
shush,
shush.
fishy. I'm just
don't
trying to say.
mansplain.
I hope
I'm going to get
that-
videos made about me tomorrow.
Good. You deserve it, you fucking Jew. I hope
do.
all the Odinist people get brought out so they can have a new trial, and then he can still get fucked in his mouth by big black dicks. Fuck that guy. He's a fucking child killer. Everyone else can get fucked. Fuck him. He's a piece of shit. I don't care. That everybody, I love all of the people that are on the panel. Fuck that guy. Right in his asshole. He's a fucking child killer. The way that he fucking looked at those photos, fuck
Oh my
him.
god. Nope.
Oh my god. Yep, that's fine. You can sit here and go back and forth about what he was at court and
Hey,
the
Teddy,
defense that he got.
after no, can I just have a turn? After you were like in lockdown for COVID and stuff, like when
Yep.
you went into public again, did you like feel like fucking kind of weird or like
I
almost
did.
like awkward to talk to people? Okay,
I
We
so
did.
didn't have
You
lockdowns
want to
here
know
like
why?
that.
Because my mother died during COVID, and I was like, "Oh, this is fucking nothing. This is all fucking weird. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of this." But somebody that kills kids, that you
No, but
know
Teddy-
fucking killed somebody, no, the dude
Teddy-
fucking killed children. It's different. It is. It's different.
But also, will you just listen that like if you are locked up for like a year, 2 years
Yeah.
in a fucking cell,
Yep.
and then everybody is like literally looking at you as if you did kill children, if you were innocent, like how would you look at those pictures? Like you cannot judge
You
based on
can't
that.
win
You
that.
know what? No matter
Can't
if I
win
was
that.
locked up for years or if I wasn't, I wouldn't bob my head to photos like I was fucking reliving shit. And I can tell
He
you,
literally
Fishy,
was on fucking crazy meds and shit, dude.
Fishy, you can put me on crazy meds. You can do whatever you want. That motherfucker.
Well,
that
hey,
looked at
Teddy,
those
let's do
photos-
it. Let's have an exercise. What would you do if you were put in there, you're innocent, and you had to be there in his spot? How would you look? What would your facial expression look like
Well,
when the murder photos come up?
I
No,
I
just
would
for-
do it. I would do what Veronica said. How I got butt fucked by Kathy Shank, because
Yeah.
all these fucking retards that think yeah, I need a prison boyfriend. Yeah, so
Veronica said you got butt
let's
fucked by
let's be
Kathy
real about
Shank.
it. All these
Sorry,
people
Teddy,
that
I'm
want
popping
to
those up because I like.
all these people that want to get fucked by a child killer, they want to have this fucking notion that they're
exactly what
doing
we're
what's
saying.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's pretend like I didn't kill people and I came out of a 2-year prison stint. I would still say, hey, this is really fucked up. I should
No,
probably
if
go,
you're
hey,
looking
what the
at-
fuck?
But if you're looking
No.
at photos and you can't just burst out like that, what would you?
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Obviously
you
look at
can
them.
burst
Right,
out. You
right.
can't Wait. That was a valid answer. Do you know what happens when you burst out like that? Well, you know what the public does?
Right,
They go,
right,
he's only doing that for show.
right.
And
You
you
want to
And
know
if
also
you
what?
look sad,
you're wearing a
it's
sock
because you're showing remorse. If you look
Okay.
happy, it's because you killed him. Like he loses no matter which way you go.
Can I answer all
Exactly,
4 of you
yeah.
that are on the panel right now?
There's
Yeah.
All
3
the people that
others.
weren't fucking there sitting in trial, I
Yeah.
wouldn't fucking bob my head in a weird fucking, magical fucking thinking way.
What
I
is
wouldn't
a
sit.
bobbing your head in a weird way? What
He's
is that?
listening to fucking Migos on his AirPods.
The dude wasn't even nodding. He was
Beat it
fucking.
to the left.
He was
Beat it
was
to the
bobbing.
right. I'm gonna beat
You're
that pussy
looking-
up like.
you're
Frank
looking
Ocean.
at-
Did you say
you're
like
looking-
an autistic person that
you're
has
looking-
like a tick?
You're looking at 2 little girls who are brutally fucking murdered. And this guy's going, yep, that's what I did.
That's what he was saying in his head.
Right in front of everybody.
Listen,
Or he's thinking about chicken nuggies in the jail cell. Dino nuggies and mac and cheese.
listen, if you want to believe that all the proof leads to fucking Ron Logan or Patrick
No,
Westphal, that's cool
never
for
said
you.
The
any of that
proof
stuff.
is in the
Right.
pudding.
Right. What I'm saying is what I
We just
saw.
need to find the pudding.
Oh, he found it.
Oh yeah. The dude was fucking yeah.
His home
Veronica was
homemade.
there.
And then
Veronica was
homemade
there.
fucking
pudding.
Baldwin. Hey, listen. You want to fucking cajole a fucking child killer? That's totally fine with me. I'm good with it. But I'm telling you,
Shouldn't be okay with that.
the way this fucking guy was moving
Sorry.
his head, fuck all that.
0.
He killed
bad.
those fucking kids. I don't care. You have a ball with all of it. That's the guy that fucking killed those kids. I don't give a fuck.
Teddy,
I
I
don't care.
think that you're seriously like lacking. I know you went to the trial, but you missed all of the defense's case, and so like it makes sense.
No,
that you have,
I
like,
didn't
that.
though. I didn't miss all of the defense's
Wait,
case. That's a
Can
big
we address
fat lie.
a comment right here?
Okay.
Don't dox me says there's 0 evidence of Richard Allen's guilty. But I think
there
correctly
is
would
some.
be there is
Well, then that-
0
That's a big fat
there
lie.
is 0 physical evidence of anyone's guilt as far as what most people consider physical evidence.
Yeah,
That's a
probably
big fat
true.
lie, because you know what? Physical evidence can say whatever the fuck you want.
But, hey,
When the
Teddy,
stupid fucking asshole said that he was there,
Here, Laura, I'll give you a little turn to talk. Just mute
Well-
Teddy for a second.
Teddy, be my
Sorry,
teammate.
Teddy, I love you.
No, Teddy, be my teammate here because it's like I get your frustration, but if we go from
I
Like-
feel the same way, but he's convicted,
Come back
so
to
I
the
don't
middle.
have to. I
Nope,
don't have
you
to
gotta-
dunk. He's convicted.
nope.
I know
Laura,
it's
what
so,
do you got?
but we know we look like we've got really smart people here, so I see what you're like. Maybe you're convinced but the thing is there was a time where we weren't convinced or whatever. So let's come back
Right.
to the middle and like just debate and walk with them. And you know what,
Right.
Dan, you used my favorite line ever. The proof is in the pudding. So I had to.
I call Richard Allen Pudding Man. That's also why I said that.
It's a double entendre.
No, Laura,
Yes.
that's a good point. And Teddy, like, I think that I understand you're getting frustrated and stuff, but you wanted to come on here and argue. So
He's
like,
not getting
that's-
frustrated. He's
Oh,
grandstanding.
listen, fishy. I am grandstanding. Listen,
Oh,
you can,
Teddy
He's
is
grandstanding.
just crushing on
Listen.
girls with Tourette.
listen. Any girl
Rubbing
with
off
Tourette's
on
that
him.
wants to fuck, I'm good. Here's the thing though.
You're a favorite.
He has the hots
Any-
for Richard
we
Allen.
need Zero to talk more.
Anybody that
We-
wants, I do not like child killers.
I don't
Pedo
either.
fucking
Oh,
child killers.
okay,
on the
Teddy.
Nope.
Okay, I gotta mute you because, like, for one, I'm not saying I love child killers. If I thought that Richard Allen was 100% guilty, I would not be like defending him. And like, I do not like child killers. I think that's fucking a crazy thing to say, you know. But I
Okay.
think everybody said that they didn't prove their case. Like a lot of people said that.
They
Like,
did though.
That's
That's why a jury fucking got him guilty.
Well, let's just say, how about you just say that's why maybe the jury voted him guilty. Can you say that with a little more like niceness? Like, I get what you're saying, but that's a different like. She's
Teddy, did
we're
your
also.
thing says mamas don't let their babies grow up to be cowboys?
Oh,
I mean,
said that?
that wasn't a me thing. That was a Richard Allen thing.
Teddy.
That was one of the
God.
stupid things. Come on.
All right. How about Teddy? Let me just challenge you on this. I agree that the case that they did prove their case, but I think as I've been watching, and Dan and Fishy, you could probably say that you know this from the comments that I've said, that I think you're really, really smart, and you ask really great questions, and I was not one of those who came onto this scene or whatever and believed everything. In fact, I was like, I'm going to leave the Perlmutter testimony through half of it. I was like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to block everybody because I do believe this is like hiding ritualistic killings. And I'm going to have to tell like these sweet people, like, like that was my game plan. I'm going to exit out. And then in the cross-examination, I was like, wow, I just really came back to like reality. So
Laura.
They tell a good story, huh?
Laura, let me ask you this, though. Tell me what evidence out of all of it told you that it was anyone else but Richard Allen? Please.
Well, there's tons of
It's everyone else except.
No, you're
okay.
Teddy, you're right. You're coming from a different. Yes, if you would have went to the trial, but I also can understand the places that they're coming from. Of like,
Can I.
Okay, but so I had to have that moment where I really ruled out the Odins. I did.
Right. Me too.
Well, but
me too.
So I looked around and nobody else seemed to have that moment. They just seemed very solid that it was just Richard Allen.
No.
How did you rule it out?
That's why people fucking talk all this shit about me, about how I came there and I was just this plant. How
Oh no, you weren't.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
Well,
everybody thought that I came there with my own fixed notions, and I walked in there day one and I had this opinion. No,
Dan, don't talk as me, and then fucking.
I saw what the fucking defense
question.
I saw what the defense was pulling.
And if I go to my thing, it crashes out my StreamYard.
No,
I don't know why.
See, people don't know who I am. So they think like, oh, he came in there and he was just somebody for the fucking state. No, I came in there. I wanted to know what the fuck was going on. I didn't give a fuck. I'm not a reporter. I don't give a fuck what's going on.
Teddy, Can I tell you what I think? That one thing that makes me and it's not like a bad thing at all.
No, you can't.
I think that I think we separate into these two tribes, and so like that
we do.
It is detrimental to the discussion.
I don't like you.
And just like we can theorize about stuff without actually like thinking that like the Finlanders did it or fucking Logan did it. We can suspend like that he's convicted, right? Because like if that's how you feel about it, then you guys don't need to say anything else.
But can the people that are super Richard Allen do the same thing with Richard Allen?
Here's the thing, though.
Like, if he is innocent and he's in jail,
he's not.
This is our time to speak up. And so, like, if you think that they have the right person in there, then that's fine. But like, if you don't,
walk
then
them through all the things that they need to go through to understand to get where we are. Maybe because we went there and saw some things, and so but not everybody got to see that. So let's like walk them through it instead of going to one extreme.
And I understand that. And I understand that there are a lot of things that people did not get to see.
Wait, hold on one more second, Teddy. Don't dox me. The number that number comment was not from me. It was from Dan, and so I don't know what he's talking about. But he's misrepresenting what I'm saying.
I was asking you to quantify the number of people that are innocent because everybody says that, but nobody has an answer.
Well, they say 5%.
Or it's lower. Or it's lower. Quantify it. You say that number, but where's the like?
I'm pretty sure it comes from like the Innocence Project and people that have been like
Dude, the Innocence Project gets guilty people off all the time.
But that's okay. So I was very much into the Innocence Project, but it was Ryan Ferguson. Ryan Ferguson, if you study that, the serial killer, he did not confess at all. It was him and someone else. They were in 18. They went to a party together. The guy had anxiety. He's like, maybe we were both out at this Halloween party. Maybe we killed this reporter. and there was all these things of like, did you kill him with a belt? And so, but now he's freed 10 years later. So I mean, that's an example like where it's a little bit. So I very much believe in that. I was very passionate about that. I learned about cognitive psychology because like also they that's priming the eyewitness. There were so many studies you could do about that. Like they had a picture in the newspaper, so it was like then if you're gonna you can't ask him that in court because he's already been primed to see that photo. Okay, so but like that's a little like, but he never can confess. So it's just really hard to really. Richard Allen is a little bit different. Because 61 confessions, like really. And I think there's so much more that they actually did not lay out. I mean,
Oh, I'm not trolling. Listen,
You're
read
not
your
trolling.
comments.
Yeah, he is.
dude.
I know you're not.
He's
trolling.
a fucking
You're not
liar.
trolling,
No,
you're
I'm
not
in the
even under
comment
your account,
section.
Dan. You're-
Somebody just said that the Vinlanders supported the GOP in Indiana. So did
Shut
all the
up,
Republicans in Indiana, which is like 70% of the population of Indiana. It's
Okay,
a bad
I think it's time
argument.
to end this stream because I'm over this arguing.
I'm
This is
having
why
a good time.
we have a rule not to talk about this case
He's
because
such
it
a
always gets
fag.
heated.
Shut the fuck up, Dan.
I'm just laughing at the comments. Those people
Just so
throw
you
stuff
know,
like half cocked.
You can ask a neutral question.
the guy that's in prison,
Republicans
he's
are
fucking
bad.
guilty.
I'm a libertarian, pissed off.
Right.
My party never
We're
wins.
all on the same page.
Okay, let's all start
We are?
neutral. Somebody ask a neutral
Whose
question.
page?
See if we can go back to neutral. Zero cool, go.
Back page? Is
Does-
that I
does
thought they
an-
shut that place. I thought they
Does
shut the
Does
thing down.
does anybody like child killers? No.
I have a question
No,
for Teddy.
that's
I have a
exactly
question for
Teddy.
Teddy.
Yeah, nobody
What's up,
likes
Jew?
nobody likes child
Dude,
killers.
check
You're
this
right.
out. This comes from the chat.
Teddy's
But why are you gay?
Well, dick in my ass is really nice.
But why
I
are you
can't.
gay?
Why are you gay? I can't give you an answer for that, dog.
Thank everybody for
He's
coming.
not,
Good night.
Dan.
I'm out.
You don't perpetuate that.
I just like,
Bye,
things
fish
that
Hey,
Wait,
feel
where'd
good.
she go?
She left.
Fishy.
She didn't shut
Aw,
the live
no.
off. She triggered.
I
I love you
Fishy.
guys in the chat. I just like teasing you.
Why are you gay?
I'm not triggered. I'm over it.
Yes,
I want to
you
play
are.
games.
Stop
That's
it.
what I want to do. I
We're
wanna
all
play games.
over
You
it,
don't
man.
play
Let's play
good
games
games.
right now.
Pictionary. Let's play
Play good-
Pictionary, guys.
Play good games.
No, let's play
I'm gonna
Pictionary.
draw
Great.
a
Good
swastika.
Everybody
as
in the
Laura
chat,
plays
join my
games.
Discord and play with us. I swear
Laura,
it's
are
way
you gonna play
funner.
games?
All right, are you wanting to
You
close
can
out?
come play with Teddy's balloon knot.
Oh,
Wait, hold on.
Katie,
I'll
what's
drop
up?
my link to Discord for you guys.
mamas,
waffle.
don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys.
I was
No.
gonna put that video in there. But
All right,
let's
who's
see
got
what
the
else.
next round?
What's this one?
Peanut Harambe will keep you safe. You will be avenged.
Give me a word.
Anybody who wants to play games, join. Join my
Okay.
Discord, okay? It's fun.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
Why are
Okay.
you over here?
Pictionary.
Okay.
Joining.
Bye, fishy.
Later,
You
y'all.
left again without it.
Yep.
Bye.
All right, let's get something in there. Put furry butt plug in there.